Hello and welcome to our Activstars online lessons. My name is Kraig Hollingworth and I'm the senior instructor for Activstars. And Sensei Corey Anderson, to my right, will be assisting me with this lesson. Today we're going to be reviewing advanced techniques for our advanced students. Some of the techniques may be different from what you know in your regular classes, but follow along, have fun, and do your best. Thank you for joining. We're going to start by reviewing our advanced blocks. So I want you to follow along. You want to review the techniques with me. And after we practice the techniques, then I'll be showing you the application. First, I want you to go into a riding stance. Again, make sure that for advanced students, bend the knees, push the feet outward, hands high in the chamber. We're going to start with our circular block. The circular block comes out, we block with the forearm, and come back up. And it looks like this. Okay, so I want you to do 4 with me. Here we go. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. And again, we call that circular block. Our next block is the ball of wrist block. The ball of wrist block comes up, and we cross the center of our face, come to the side, and we use the ball of the wrist. Okay. Again, cross the center line. We call this ball of wrist. Here we go. Ball of wrist block. Follow along. Here we go. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent job. Our next block is pressing block, where we just press down with our hand. Straight forward. Okay, here we go. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent. Our next block is double grasping block. It comes out just like this. You reach out both hands and pull back. From the side, it looks like this. Okay, so here we go with double grasping block. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent job. Moving on to our twin forearm block. The twin forearm block, we start with our chamber. Okay, our hands come up and we block to each side. Chamber and block. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent job. Next, we're moving into our double forearm block. Both hands reach back. When you reach back, the hands need to be parallel to the ground. We don't want them down, up, palms down when we start our preparation. Okay, so reach back for double forearm. Our hands come forward, and then our knuckles end up on the elbow. Okay, so you reach back and come to the front for double forearm. Okay, here we go. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent. Next, we're moving to scissors block. From here, just drop one hand. Okay, in scissors block, we move our hands and we cross. And we do it a couple times. Again, so cross to here. You want to make sure you extend your arms out. You don't want to choke up to here. This is our scissors block. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Scissors block. Hitch, ding, sun, chi. Excellent job. Okay, next we're going to upward elbow. Upward elbow, you're going to place your hands right above your belt, and you just push your shoulder and your elbow forward. Okay, so it looks like this. And from the other side for upward elbow block. Ready? Hitch, ding, sun, chi. And those are our blocks for this lesson. Okay, next I'd like to explain the application of our blocks that I just demonstrated and that we just practiced. And I want you to watch on the application, take notes, and then in a moment I'll have you practice along. Go into fighting stance. First, I'm going to talk about circular block. That is the block that we did earlier. Again, circular block. When the person steps in towards you to punch, you block with your forearm and come around. Again, block with the forearm and come around. Okay? So again, we'll do a little faster. And that's circular block. Circular block can come around for a kick, and we can catch a kick with it if we need to. Okay, so again, we can catch a kick, okay, or block the kick away and then come up. Okay. Next, we're going to move into ball of wrist. So from ball of wrist, the opponent will punch high, and we block. If you notice, I'm crossing the center, and I can also attack the arm. Okay, we cross the center because we might be fighting multiple people. And if I have somebody here and somebody attacks, I can come straight up, and I'm making a big area that I can make sure I can block. If he punches the other hand, I'm focusing over here. I can still make sure that I can block whatever's coming. Okay, again on ball of wrist, I can attack the arm, I can hit it underneath, okay, or make the big motion and just keep blocking up. Again, that's ball of wrist block. Next, we're moving into pressing block, and that's the one that comes forward. Again, the person attacks, we press down. Okay, and again on faster, on pressing block. Next, we're moving to double grasping block. Okay, again on double grasping, the punch comes out, and you grab with both hands. Okay, so again, he punches, I'm here, and we can actually move in to press down for double grasping. Okay, next we're moving into twin forearm. Okay, so the person throws a hook punch, and hook punch means something circular to your head. Okay, we want to get our rising block up in that twin forearm. Again, remember the twin forearm is this. Okay, it's a false reality that this is blocking something here and blocking something here. On twin forearm block, again, we get the rising up, this hand comes up behind. Okay, and then we actually grab, and this is the takedown. Okay, that is what twin forearm block is for. Watch on this other view. He'll punch with the other hand, and we block up. This hand comes up, back, and we grab our wrist, and we take down. Okay, again, that's for double forearm block. Okay, and next moving to double forearm. Double forearm could be from a double hand, and a lot of times our blocks could be used for self-defense moves. It can also be used for the other application. This is a fun one, so you can follow along at this point. Take notes. This hand here is just going to come over and seize his wrist. Okay, and then I just pull my hand up for the back fist, and that can represent double forearm. Looks like this. The other side, again, I just seize the wrist, up for double forearm. Double forearm is also for a kick. Okay, again, the opponent could be kicking me. I come up underneath. This hand comes up to the shoulder. Okay, again, representing the double forearm technique here. Kick comes up, go underneath, grab, and this is the takedown for a double forearm block. Scissors block, the motion that we did here. A lot of times our advanced students go, well, what is this for? And let me explain. When we get into a clinch, okay, this is what we call a clinch. When both people end up holding on to each other. When we're clinched, this hand, one of them will start at the top of the front hand. I can come up and hit the opponent's head. What are they going to do? They're going to seize the hand, so I can't do that. So when they seize the hand, that's when I come up underneath the elbow. We step up and we do the takedown this direction. Okay? We can also go low. So from the clinch, I might strike low, and he's going to seize the hand. Again, that's where I bring the other hand around, seize the elbow for the takedown. Okay? And it represents the scissors. Okay? Moving on to upward elbow. The upward elbow means that if by some chance the punch came, I can't get my hand up for whatever reason. I can't do that, and we rely on our body. Okay, and we're going to use the upper elbow. When the punch comes, we just turn away. Then we could back fist again. Punch comes in, block with the upper elbow. You can follow with a back fist. Also realize on that turning motion for advanced students, at any time when someone attacks you, maybe you can't even get your elbow on it, we don't want to absorb the punch straight on. So we want to turn our body this way. Okay, if he punches the other side, so you can see, I'm going to let it deflect off of me. Okay, and a lot of times that, even if he punches hard and fast, he might hit, but the deflection will give me that opportunity to turn away and to be able to defend. That can be even on our face. The punch comes in, and you just turn, okay? You don't want to be absorbing a punch on your face. you want to turn your head away. It's very dangerous, but if there's no chance getting your arms up, we call it turning. And again, upward elbow just turns away. Okay? So again, that is the application of some of the blocks. We're moving into what we call bunkai, and I'm going to talk more about that when we hit our kata today, but it's explaining the actual application of some of those blocking techniques. In a moment, I'm going to be doing it in first person. I want you to find your parent or somebody that you can partner with and practice these blocks. Thank you. Okay, I want you to follow along. We're in first person mode at this point. And so I want you to use your parent or another partner. And so we'll bow in. Okay, and your opponent's going to go to a fighting stance. Okay, and you're going to be in your fighting stance. And typically our right hand is back. And if you're left-handed, you can do the other side. Okay, so Sensei Corey is going to step. And again, we're going to practice that circular block. So when he punches, block across in here again. Okay, so let's try again. Do a couple. Circular block. Next, we have our ball of wrist. Okay, so we're in our fighting stance. He punches, and we block upward for ball of wrist. And again, ball of wrist. Our next is pressing. Okay, so again, fighting stance. He punches, we press down. Okay, again. And just press down on the arm. I can hit it actually, and there, right here is a pressure point. And Sensei doesn't like it, but I'm gonna hit it, okay? So again, if you have your parent, find that spot when they punch and hit down on it. And you can feel that, right, Sensei?
Right.
Okay, now what's fun is paint the fence. Some of you have seen the Karate Kid movie. If you haven't, since you're at home, Netflix it, okay? And so we're here, he punches one, and he punches again, and we come down with pressing, okay? Again, so it's paint the fence versus two blocks. And that's how that works. If you want, he can punch with the other. I can still block and still accomplish the same thing. So again, paint the fence. Next, moving into double grasping. Again, our hands are up, he punches, and we grab the hands, okay, to here. So in double grasping, here, here. Don't forget, you can press your opponent down to the ground, okay? On our twin forearm block, okay, again, they're going to attack. Remember, get your rising block up. You can be from fighting stance or to here, okay, but just realize that punch comes in circular. Rising block up here, and we bend it down and grab our wrist, and that's where we do the takedown. Okay, and watch from the other side. Okay, so your hands are here, the attack comes. Get your rising block up, the twin comes back, and pull down for twin forearm. Next is our double forearm. Again, from double hand wrist locks, all you do is seize the wrist and come up back fist. Seize over, back fist. Try the other side to here. Okay? Now, also it's for the kick. Okay, so when he attacks, we can go around, we circle under the leg with this hand. Okay, so watch it again. Circle, grab up here, representing the double forearm, and do your takedown. And that's our double forearm. Next, we have our scissors block, again from the clinch. Clinch. Okay, so when we clinch up, and we're here, and it's easier to see now, like what do we do? Okay, there are other techniques that eventually in our next series we'll teach on how to take down and things like that, and how to do foot sweeps. But in this video, scissors block. Okay, so I come up, and I'm gonna hit the ear to get him to do this. I'm gonna switch, grab the elbow, and then I do the takedown. That's the high version. Watch it again, clinch, hit up, grab the elbow, takedown. The low version, we go down low to get him to come down, grab the elbow up, and throw. Again, don't throw mom and dad, be careful, but we go down low, come here to the arm, take down. And we have our upward elbow block. Again, you can put your hands on your hip to practice this one. He punches, and we just push aside. Okay, again. And those are our blocks in first person. Thank you. Welcome back. Now moving on to our advanced techniques for our strikes. Right? Go ahead and go into riding stance. And we're going to start by talking about our elbow strikes. When we use our elbow, again, you're hitting the end. And let me explain on the elbow part why elbow is important. If you try to pinch your elbow here, there's not a lot of nerve endings, so it does not hurt, versus try to pinch the top of your hand. It hurts, okay? So again, our elbow is very effective, and especially in close, what we call infighting or close quarter techniques, okay? So actually, I'm going to start with our parallel stance. To start, go ahead and put your hands in the chamber, and we're going to start with our rising elbow strike. With rising elbow, you turn your hips, very important, and I'll show that in a moment, and your palm comes up covering one eye. Okay, so let's do a few of these with me. Are you ready? Rising elbow strike. Ready? Ich, di, sun, chi. Excellent job. Again, from the side, it looks like this. Press your hip forward with rising elbow. Ready? Ich, di, sun, chi. Next, we're moving to our front elbow strike. Front, we just swing across on each side. Okay, front elbow, ready? Hitch, di, sun, chi. Excellent job. Next, we're moving into our riding stance, and we're going to start with our downward elbow. Downward can be single, or it can be reinforced. So when you hear reinforced, that means you grab it and assist it down. Okay, so let's do a couple singles and a couple reinforced. Ready? Single, downward elbow. Ready? Hitch, di, reinforced. Hitch, di. Excellent job. Next, we're going to do that same concept to the side. We call this side elbow strike. Ready? Hitch, di. It's important you reach for the power. Okay? Now let's do a couple reinforced. Ready? Hitch, di. Excellent. Now we have back elbow strike. Again, someone's coming up from behind, and you elbow. And we can do a reinforced back elbow. Same thing. Okay, here we go. Single, back elbow. Ready? Hitch, di. Now reinforced. Hitch, di. And last, we have our turning elbow. Someone's coming up behind. Okay, and this can be reinforced as well. Ready? Turning elbow. Hitch, di. Reinforced turning elbow. Hitch, di. Okay, excellent job. Now I'm moving into my knife hands. A knife hand neck strike. Your knife hand, your fingers are together. Tuck your thumb to the side, and that's what we call knife hand. Okay? For some of you, it might be hard to tuck your thumb, and if you press it over the knuckle, okay, we call this sword hand, where it's not bent in press, and we pull it further back, that's knife hand. Okay, we're going to start with our knife hand neck strike. You reach back, elbow back, turn your hips, we have power coming forward. Then our hip comes forward, and we strike at a 45. Okay, again, ready? Follow along, ready? We're going to do 4 of our knife hand neck strikes. Ready? Hitch, di, sun, chi. Excellent. Now pull it up. And we call this knife hand temple strike. Ready? Hitch. Make sure your hand's flat. Di, sun, chi. At the advanced levels, you have to make sure everything's centered, not over here. Make sure it's right in front. Okay, again, that's knife hand temple strike. Now we're doing knife hand side strike. Ready? Reach across the ear and directly to the side. Hitch, di, sun, chi. And now we have a knife hand front strike. Many of you know middle spear hand. Okay? And we do it like spear hand. We pull it up at the last second and we hit with the knife edge. Ready? Knife hand front. Hitch, di, sun, Chi. And the last of our knife hands is knife hand body strike. Okay, if you've seen Karate Kid 2, go ahead and Netflix that. Come up, and I turn my hip. Okay, so we're blocking and striking. Ready? Hitch. Di. Sun. Chi. Okay, and our last of our techniques, we have hook punch. And a hook punch just comes out, just like this. Ready? Hitch. Di. Sun. Chi. And that's our advanced strikes. In a moment, I'll show you the application. Now I'd like to demonstrate with Sensei Corey on the application of your elbow strikes. So again, we're going to go ahead and start into a fighting stance. Now with elbows, you're going to be thinking about, we're going to block first, obviously, when somebody attacks you. Now if this hand is coming out, you can do a palm block. Again, you can do your pressing block we just learned, and then you step in with that rising elbow to the chin. Okay? This hand is up because if he punches with the other hand, again, I'm protecting my head. Okay, so you want to think about where does your elbow go? But again, it's coming up to the opponent's jaw. Okay, so again, we block down, come up with rising elbow. Okay, our front elbow strike. Again, he may attack. I may do single, grasping, and here's our front elbow. It goes right, if you can target, right under the earlobe. And if you touch mom and dad right here, Sensei, does it, you feel it? Right? But that's where we target with that elbow. Okay, so again, the attack comes, we block, front elbow strike. Okay, if he punches with the other hand, again, it looks like this, coming across for front. Okay, now moving on, we also have our side elbow strikes. Again, if you were to attack, I block, push it away, and here's our reinforced or single elbow. Again, from the other side, we block it away, reinforce elbow. That can be high depending on how tall or how short you are. Okay, for reinforced side. Reinforced downward. He may try to come in and try to grab my body. Okay, I may press him down and come down with single or reinforced elbow. Okay, it may be to the point where we do a one step, he attacks, I might block, here's our front, here's a side, pull around, and here's a downward elbow for finishing technique. Okay, reinforced. Okay, now we have our, let's move into turning elbow and back elbow. Maybe he tries to get me in a bear hug over the arms. Okay, we can come up to avoid the lift. Again, I'm not teaching the technique here, but we press back. At this point, I can move back with a reinforced elbow or the single elbow to the sternum of your opponent. If he moves his hand away, you can see where I'm striking. Okay, for back elbow. Okay, he might be coming up and grabbing me on the shoulder. Okay, from here I can do reinforced turning, and that can be done on either side. That also could be a single hand grab to the shoulder. It doesn't matter which side I go. I could go this direction, or I could go this direction. You can also hit the temple of the eye. Okay, that shows some of our elbow strikes. Next, I'm moving into our knife hands. Okay, a knife hand strike, again, he may attack. Okay, we started with our knife hand neck strike. Knife hand neck strike comes to the neck. Okay, again, he may attack, block. Okay, this is our side knife hand or our knife hand neck. Knife hand temple, he can attack and it comes up to the temple, to here. That's where we're targeting. So you want to target on your opponent so you understand how those work. Again, let's start with our knife hand strike, knife hand temple strike, our knife hand side strike, and again, knife hand side. Just make sure they are coming across. And this one's straight. Knife hand front, it's this motion. He attacks, and then I come into that bridge of the nose this way. Okay? Again, knife hand front. Now, knife hand body that we did is this motion here. Okay, so when he attacks high, I can block here upward, and then it comes around to the wrist. he attacks the other side, up, and strike. Okay, so again, hands up, block, circle, block, circle. Or hook punch. Okay, a hook punch just comes across, to the opponent's face or head. Again, the attack comes in, you block, and we don't have a lot of power to do a full four-fist or a vertical, so then we just hook to the side. We're hitting the opponent's jaw on these. It could be rapid punching. I could come up and do a chin strike, okay, and then I can come up with that hook punch, okay. Hook punch is very powerful if you can connect it at the right time. That's some of the application of our strikes that you just learned. Thank you. We're going to follow along in a moment on first person. Okay, we're going to do the application. I want you to follow along. Grab a parent or a partner. Go into your fighting stance. We're going to start by practicing our rising elbow. The opponent can attack with punch. You can do a palm block. You can do a pressing block. Okay, you can even do a side block for that matter here, and then you're going to step in and do rising elbow. Okay, again, let's just do the side block, step in, rising elbow to the chin. Our next is front elbow. So they're going to attack. Okay, I want you to do a grasping block, step in with front to that back of the ear. Again here, block and strike. Okay, next we're going to do our turning elbow. He's going to attack. I can do a palm block just here, and it turns to a grasping, and then just spin, and here is our turning elbow strike. Okay, or some instructors call it spinning, so that's something new that you can also learn as well. Okay, so again, person punches. You don't have to move your feet, just turn, spinning elbow to here. Okay, next I'm going to move into my side elbow strike. The person attacks, block, and we're going to reinforce it into the rib. Again, now we'll go high, block, and high. Okay, now we're going to do from the back. So if, again, they come around your arms and bear hug, it looks like this. So when the hands come up, you want to jump back, push backwards, hands come up. This is where we grab our hand and back elbow. Again, prevent the lift and strike with reinforced back elbow. That can also be single. Okay, if they grab the shoulder, you can turn, reinforced turning elbow strike. Or the other, you can grab both, step back, turn elbow. Okay. Next, we're going to move into our hook punch. The hook punch comes out. Okay, you block, and again, you just come up to hook. It can be any blocking series you want to do, but again, we're coming up right on the chin. Moving on to our knife hands. Okay, again, the attack comes in. You want to block. Knife hand neck strike comes this direction. It can be a side block even. Here, knife hand side. Next, moving in knife hand temple, and we come up to the temple. Again, he punches to knife hand temple. We have knife hand side. The attack comes, block, and we come across. Again, block, palm block, knife hand side. Next, we'll be moving into knife hand front. Okay, when the attack comes, block and push in. Okay, maybe he's grabbing. I can block up and then strike. Okay, so you want to make sure you realize that that is shooting straight out. Okay, the attack, maybe he comes over like this. I block up and knife hand front. Next, he's attacking high, and we're going to block with our rising, step into the rib cage. Okay, again, block upward, position around, and knife hand. And again, that's our knife hand body strike. Go ahead. Okay, and so again, these are our knife hand techniques. All right, next we're moving into our kicking for our advanced segment, and Sensei Corey Anderson is going to be demonstrating some of the kicks, and I'll be highlighting some of the technical aspects behind it. Okay. And so Sensei Corey, you're going to go, let's talk about kicking position first. In some styles, they may just go into a fighting stance, but there is a kicking position I want you to follow. Both hands come up and cross, and then you pull your kicking leg back, and our hands come down to the side. In class we do this because if our hands are crossed, that's when we know we need to move over. And then our hands come up, and you stand in a taller stance. Okay, so Sensei Corey will go to a tension stance. You'll go into a kicking position. Here, we're going to start by let's warm up with our side kick, and then we're going to get into some of the advanced side kicks. Again, when side kick comes up, you want to make sure you pivot your base foot, and then this knee is going to come up, and then we shoot the leg outward. Okay, and this is our knife edge. You want to make sure you're hitting with the knife edge at the side of our foot, and our guard stays up. Again, Sensei will do a couple toward the camera. Ready? Hitch. Knee. And you see he's pushing his hip and his leg at the same time that's what we call side thrust kick. Okay? And again, from the side view, if he's facing me, okay, the kick will come out and thrust into the opponent. Okay? Ready? Itch. Knee. Excellent. Okay, now facing the camera, we're going to move into our more advanced side kicks for our advanced students. We're going to start by step behind side kick. You're going to go into a riding stance, and then you're kicking legs in front. Okay, and you're going to step behind it and side thrust kick. Okay, and again, step behind, kick. Now I'm going to have Sensei hold it there. When we do a turn, so go ahead and kick, and then drop it to your here. And now when I say turn, all you do is pull this foot up and look the other direction. Okay, so turn, and now he's going to step behind side kick the other direction. Okay, turn, step behind side kick. Turn, step behind side kick. Okay, that's our step behind side kick. When we're actually fighting with the side kicks, or maybe you're in sparring and I'm slightly behind, I move back. Maybe he does a feint and I move back a little. He can step behind and get me with that step behind side kick. Okay, so step behind is closing distance and making sure that you can get closer to the opponent. Even if I move back further, he can really step behind further and keep up with me. Okay, so he can really close a few feet. Okay, with step behind side. Okay. All right, so next we're moving into hopping side kick. Hopping side kick again starts with your riding stance, and this time you just hop up with your feet. Okay, so again you can practice just the hopping motion so you can get kind of used to that. Back and forth, and from the side show that, Sensei. So hop to the side, and the other side. Okay, now we're going to do it toward the camera, and you're going to do a hopping side kick. Ready? Go. Turn. Go. Turn. And now we'll do it from the side view. Okay, so hopping side. Ready? Go. Turn. Go. And that's our hopping side kick. Okay, so next we're going to get into our turning side. So you're in your fighting stance. It's like a turning back kick, okay, but we're going to actually just turn. So you're going to turn over you're going to look, turn your shoulder. It's like you're winding your body up, and then you execute your side kick. It's important that you spot spin. And when I talk about it, his head is going to stay focused on you. He's going to keep turning until the last moment, then he's going to turn his head fast, the shoulder, and side kick. Okay? So let's do a couple turning side kicks. Ready? Go.
Sticky.
Go. And from the side view. Okay? Now, again, let me show you the application. If I was doing a roundhouse kick toward him, okay, he may be setting me up, maybe pulling his arms up so he can see that there's that I'm leading me in to do a roundhouse, and then he will turn right when he sees me initiating into that turning side kick. Okay, so again, let's watch. I'll just have him do it. Ready? Go. Go. And again with the application. Go. And that's how we do our turning side kick. Okay. Next, moving on. I would like to move into let's talk about roundhouse kick, and then we'll get into switch roundhouse kick, which is more advanced. Most of us know our roundhouse kicks, and we starters call it round kick. Again, you pivot the front foot and then you're going to just turn your hip, and again hit with the instep on this one, the top of the foot. Okay, so let's do a couple roundhouse kicks just to warm up. Ready, go. 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 Switch. Go. Go. Switch. Now it's important that you hear me saying switch, because we can't do the switch roundhouse kick unless we know how to switch our feet. Okay, so when you switch your feet, you don't want to be thinking about your foot. You want to think about moving your hip. Okay, so when you switch, you want to think about pulling this hip back as fast as you can. Okay, so watch Sensei Corey. So he's going to just focus here, pull it back, the foot will follow. Ready? Switch. 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 Okay, now when we switch, now we're going to do our switch roundhouse. Okay, so on the moment of the switch, he'll do a couple slow. So on the moment he pulls back, then he's going to shoot his roundhouse kick out. Ready? Go. Go. So do a few slow ones till you get used to it. If you need to practice, switch first, switch. Switch. Now throw the slow kick in. And kick. Okay, that's how we do our switch roundhouse. Now in application, okay, it may be to the point where I may step in. Okay, maybe I step in toward him and he can do the switch roundhouse kick immediately. Okay, again, watch. Okay, I can't really kick him in sparring to the back. Okay, but somebody may step in, trying to maybe punch or something, and that's when you do the switch roundhouse. It's also for the application that I'm attacking him, you get a very aggressive people, and then he's moving backwards. Okay, so the switch roundhouse kick is a defensive technique, moving back. So if I start charging in, he's going, switch roundhouse kick's going back, and this person's not going to feel too good. Again, watch. Just like that. Okay, that's our switch roundhouse. Okay, now, go ahead and face the camera. Our next kick in this series is our turning back kick. Okay, and with turning back kick, like the turning side kick, we want to turn our body, but we stop our shoulders halfway. You bring the knee up back here, straight up, and you want to keep the knee straight to your leg and back. That's our turning back kick, sorry. Okay, and you want to try to hit with your heel. Okay, so watch Sensei Corey. Ready, go. Turning back kick. Ready, go. Okay, now in turning side, the difference of turning back, turning side. Okay, if he turns, okay, and the shoulders stop, and the knees square and goes straight back, that is turning back. If his shoulder turns and his knee flares, this is turning side. Okay, so watch the difference. We're going to do a couple turning back and a couple turning side. Here's turning back kick. Go. Go. Turning side kick. Good. Turning back kick has the same application. So if he's up forward more, switch your feet, and he steps back to draw me in. At that point, a roundhouse, and he does the turning back kick. Again, he could step back to draw me, I kick, and he takes the turning back kick. So that's how our turning back kick works. Okay. Now we're going to move into our jump front kick. Okay, and a lot of you will like this. I know that some of the lower ranking loves it, but the high ranking, we need to know why we do a jump front kick. Okay, we all know snap kick. So he's going to do a snap kick out. Okay, that's just a warm up and practice. Okay, but on a jump snap, you're kicking with the front leg. So this one comes up like a knee kick, and you jump and kick. Okay, so let's do a couple. Ready? Jump, snap, kick. Ready? Go. Go. Switch. Go. Go. Okay. In application, okay, he may punch at you. You may block. Here's our elbows. Okay. You see me pull down. Okay. This is where you're in that position to do your knee kick. But right after knee, guess what we do? We do our jump, snap, kick that we just did. Okay. So in applications, it could be in your one steps. Maybe I spin around. I knee, and right here is where I could do my jump, snap. Okay. So that's the application. We're not jumping 10 feet in the air. This is when we get the person down. He may double hand grab. Many of you know this. Our basics. Okay, we grab. Knee kick. Well, what can we do now? Jump, snap. Okay, that's what we have tremendous power. our last kick of the series. Okay, it's our hook kick. Okay, so with hook kick, you're going to come out and just hook with the side with your heel. Okay, so Sensei is going to bring his foot up like side kick, and you just hook it around. That's it. Okay, so it's like a side kick coming out over here, and you hook around. Ready? Go. Go. Good. And from the side view, again, he'll come out. Ready? Go. Parents can hold the hand out. Go. And for the hook. Again, you're hooking someone's head. Okay? And again, hook kick. Ready? Go. Go. Excellent job. We hope you enjoyed our kicking series. Thank you so much. Before I start the kata, I would like to acknowledge all of our advanced students from other styles and systems. I realize the form might be different. Follow along. There's going to be some very exciting bunkai in the application that's going to be shown right after the kata that can be used in your existing forms. Realize that bunkai is not normally taught to students under level of black. Sometimes second degree is required to learn bunkai. So it's something special I'm putting on there for everybody. I hope you enjoy it. Again, follow along the kata and the fun will come right after. Thank you. Welcome back. Next I'd like to talk about bunkai. Bunkai is the application of our techniques. And especially when you get into kata, we spend years as advanced students practicing our forms, trying to get the memorization, but that's not all, okay? And many of you may be doing your forms or kata, pumse from other styles, and you go, I wonder what this technique is for. And that's a great question. Typically when you become a black belt and you get into black belt classes or really advanced classes, then you have a senior instructor or master level instructor that understands the bunkai, and then they start taking all the katas you have learned throughout your martial art career and start explaining what they actually mean. Okay, and with this online series, you guys are very lucky, and because I'm going to start with one of our intermediate forms that we call Pinnan Shodan. In some styles, it's called Heian Shodan, and but even if you do a different kata, we want you to follow along because the application of the bunkai may be very similar in some of these techniques or other forms you already may know. Now, before I start the kata, there's some rules of bunkai. And when we do our kata, it's a lot of people say, oh, you're defending against multiple attackers. And when I was taught, that's not true. Okay? Each application of kata is its own technique. And it was designed for civil defense. That means against untrained fighters. And the masters, when they brought in the martial art, especially on the Japanese side, at one point it was illegal to teach kata and any type of fighting art. And so they put katas together to hide their fighting system within a form. So many of your forms can be a complete fighting system. And they preserve the martial art through kata. When the masters practiced years ago, that's all they did was practice kata. They didn't go into the one steps and self-defense moves because everything can be found within the form. So today, practice along, we're going to be doing Pinnan Shodan. Pinnan means the way of harmony. And so again, when I do the forms, I want you to practice it, even though that your style might be slightly different, and because it'll be very beneficial. Thank you. Pinnan Shodan. I'm going to start by doing Pinnan Shodan slow speed, and then I'm going to do it from the back so you can follow along. Okay, so the first technique is we look to the left and we step out in forward stance low block. And then we step in lunge punch. The next move is we turn low block, and then we do a stomping kick and our circular block. Step, lunge punch. We look to the front, step, low block, rising block. Right when we start stepping, open the hand, rising. Again, rising. Open, rising, kiai. Then we turn low block. step and punch, lunge punch. Turn, low block. Step, lunge punch. Going to the back, low block. We do C steps in our lunge punch. That means our feet come in and out. Our third one, we ki. Turn, back stance, knife hand guarding block. To the corner, back stance, knife hand guarding block. Turn, back stance, knife hand guarding block. And to the corner, back stance, knife hand guarding block. And back to the beginning. Next, I'm going to be doing the kata with you. So at this time, I want you to get up and you're going to follow along. I'm going to turn my back so it's the exact, what you're going to do is what I'm exactly going to do. I recommend if you have an Xbox or PlayStation, download the app of YouTube, get it on your console, and then you can watch this on full screen and follow along. So here we go. Okay, right? Junbi for kata. Pinan shodan. First thing we do is look to the left. Step, turn, low block. Step and punch. Turn, low block. Now we're going to step and do our stomping kick and circular block. Step, lunge punch. Now we look to the front. We step, low block, same hand, rising block. Right when we step, open, rising block. Open, rising block. Open, rising block, ki. Okay, when we ki, it's hila. Okay, now we turn, low block. Step, lunge punch. Turn, low block. Step, lunge punch. Back down the middle, low block. Punch 1, 2, hila. Turn, back stance, knife hand guarding block. To the corner, turn, and to the corner, and back to the beginning. Next, I'd like you to follow along at medium speed. Click, break, junbi for kata. Pinan shodan. Ready. Go. 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 Hila. Go. 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 Hila. Go. 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 And middle there. Welcome back. Now, you should have practiced the kata so we understand the pattern, the movement, and you can practice that throughout the week. Now I'd like to explain the application of Pinan Shodan. And again, this is for our advanced students and something special for you in this online course. We're going to start by talking about the entrance or the start of Pinan Shodan when we come up and turn. And if Sensei Corey comes behind me, and remember that bear hug over the arms and where he starts coming back and coming up with this, you can think about crossing before we step out, but even grabbing and pulling down, and you can follow up with your elbow strike. So it's representing that turning and low block. Okay, some people, even on the starting, some of the katas do have some meaning, but again, on that first part, even this, it can be representing that bear hug comes around. I'm blocking up on the arms. I could even step in the side and doing the elbow strike with my chamber hand. Okay. Moving on, in the kata, we have our low block and we have our punch. Okay. From cross grip, and any of your forms that have a low block punch, it's you turn the hand around on the bunkai and you pull your partner down. Okay, that's where their head is at. And then you step and punch. Okay. From here, the continuation of that is where we grab the lapel, and when we turn in low block, this is a throw to the ground, this direction. Okay, representing the low block. So we'll look at that again. So from the low block part, This is a cross grip. You circle around, pull the opponent down, step, punch, it could be to the head. The continuation is turned, low block for the throw. Now, from here you have the circular block and the stomping. Okay, and it can be where there's a cross grip here, and I'm coming around like that circular, and I'm pulling the hand down. Okay, same thing, I could be stomping on the foot. Okay, you could stomp, then do this. The oyo means principle of the kata. That means it can be done in this sequence all together here, same time, and stomping down. Okay, but that's one of the applications is here, the stomp and down. The other is he could be threatening or with his finger, and you know that it's going to turn into altercation, and maybe he pulls his other hand back ready to punch or something, but you can pull this and down. Okay, again, that's representing being preemptive from the threat and to take it away. Okay, going back to your cross grip and practice along, circle, stomp. Now the continuation is we have our punch, step and punch. Okay, now from here, if you remember, we go to the middle. Okay, that middle could be even the elbow where we come up and we pull down to the throw here. Okay, it can be as again, we have the kata, we have the punch. Again, the punch can just be from here where we grab, brace the leg, and pull. Okay. In many of our katas, we all have usually the eye pattern, the simple movements, and the punch. But this is what that technique is for. Okay. Now, once we have the continuation, you see the rising blocks, open hand rising block. And from a lapel grab, as someone grabs us, you want to be thinking about, well, what could we do from here? Okay, you can come up, drop down, and then this is rising block. Okay, and again, it could be the other side. When we have kata, it does both sides, representing both sides of the attack. Pulling down, rising block. Okay, that can be here, it can be open, so it won't matter. Now, we do have an open and then the rising. There's other techniques, the principle. Some of this you see in Aikido, where he comes over the head and may come in open hand and then step in and attack. Okay, and that could be representing the rising. It could be he attacks, I block, I step up, rising. Okay, so there's different applications or principles behind it. Okay, but for the bunkai in this one, think about pulling down and striking up for our rising block. Okay, now for our also on the lunge punches. So we have the up to the ki, and then we go into lunge punch. And we all know that, again, it can be this technique in punching in the throws. Okay? But it also can be where the person attacks. We may come up with a circular block and press. Okay, press them down. And then I can grab the shoulder and step in and punch, representing this technique. Okay, so again, so follow along. I can block, palm block, and just pull the person down. We call it seizing the arm, pressing the opponent down on the elbow. Okay. From there we seize. This pulls back to the chamber. If you look, this is like the low block. Okay. And then we step in and punch. Okay. So that also represents a low block punch situation. Again, the hand, seize, grab, punch. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the low block punches. And we go down the middle, low block punches. Okay, then we get to the end where we ki. Okay, and then we turn in our knife hand. Now, even that turn it can have a meaning. He could push me, and I seize it. Okay, taking his force with me, but then I can actually take this. I can grab, but my knife hand can be a continuation and pull him around, representing that turn. Okay. Again, it's a push comes up. I seize it on my hand, keep his momentum going. I could even grab, representing this, and turn the opponent, grab a hold, and take him down, representing that knife hand. Okay? So some styles maybe have B-style knife hand versus this knife hand, but again, that's the technique. Okay? Now, when we have the knife hand guarding blocks, there's different And you'll see this in some of the other katas. If you see the haymaker, or let's talk about the straight one. We did straight, and then we did an angle. When a straight punch comes in, we block it, and we strike the tricep of the arm. Okay, so the punch comes in, block, strike the arm. At this point, okay, this is where our knife hand is. Watch carefully. Knife hand strike. This is what it's representing. We're seizing the hand. Okay, so again, coil, that's the coil, represents that strike, and finish the knife hand. Okay, watch it again. Okay, now, and the kata has the 45-degree angle. When there's an angle in a kata, that means it's usually versus a circular technique. Okay, so when the haymaker comes in, I coil. This is your coil, but I move my body to the 45. And then now watch. There's our knife hand. Okay, so watch again. Watch from this angle but on that so you can see what I'm doing. And that's for the angle. Okay. Now, there's other techniques that are the principle behind it. Oyo means principle. Say oyo. Okay, he could be from a cross grip. Okay, and the same thing that I might pull down like earlier in our kata, like the punch, but this one I can step in with knife hand, representing this. Okay, so again, the principle of it, stepping in knife hand. Okay, whack. Watch again. Pull down, seize it here so you can step and strike. Okay, then we have the angle. Okay, it could be where he punches, and I seize that arm like we did earlier. But then I can step in knife hand. Okay? Okay, so again, seize the arm, press it down. It could be even open, but I'm going to seize it here, step, in knife hand, representing this motion here. Again, from this view, we have where he can grab, simple knife hand, okay, and I can even step. Knife hand. So you can put them together. From a cross grip, seize, knife hand, here, or he punches and is pressing down, stepping. Okay. And that concludes the Bunkai for Pinnan Shodan. Thank you for joining us for our advanced lesson. We hope it was very informative and you have a different understanding for Bunkai of katas and the principle which we call oyo. Please practice. We can't wait to see you for our next online lesson for our advanced students, and we'll have a continuation and more exciting things to show. Don't forget to comment on this video. I will be on answering questions, and I'll try to get Sensei Corey on to help as well. We hope that everybody's enjoying these lessons. Follow us on Facebook at Activstars, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.